Our words significantly shape our identity, influence, and actions. They even create our reality. Let's do this. Hey, and welcome to the Full Weight of Joy podcast, the podcast for women who are done stressing about the weight of the world, of expectations, and settling for status quo, and ready to step into the full weight of joy. Joy in the journey, whether up or down, joy through the life's challenges, and joy in loving your life right where you are, even though sometimes we feel like chucking it all and moving to Bali. It's for women who are ready to step into who God called them to be. He chose you to be in this world. He created you for a specific purpose. God called us to be the light on a hill, and by embracing who you are and whose you are, you can stand on that hill and shine. The best part, when you're standing next to another woman who's also on the journey, the world gets brighter. My name is Tammy. I'm your host and a master certified life coach and a trained therapist. For over a decade, I've been helping women do just that. Step into who they're called to be and shine. Are you ready, friend, to start your journey? Let's do this. Have you heard the saying, you are what you eat? It's not new, right? We think about it, and as we're either trying to lose weight or we're trying to get healthy, and and even, let's face it, we've said it to our kids too. I know I've said it to my kids about, junk in, junk out. And every time I talk about food, and we can relate it to that because we all love to eat, right? Did you know that it's true about your words too? You are what you think, and you are what you say. Our words have such power, to the point where it's so crazy to think, like, follow me here, is we're made in God's image, right? And so with that, God spoke things into existence and they became true. So why is it so hard for us to think that when we think things and we speak them over ourselves, over our children, over our friends, that they wouldn't also become true? So I wanted to talk today about the power of our words. As we talked about making decisions, we've talked about overcoming self-doubt, we've talked about confidence recently. And I want to talk to you about, let's boil this down to, you are what you think. And so let's talk about 3 ways that our words have power. So first one is our words shape our identity. The words you use to describe yourself are what your inner being, it's what your brain is going to catch on. What you repeatedly say is going to become those internalized beliefs, reinforcing self-doubt, limiting potential, and it's going to stop you in your tracks. On the other side is if you keep saying, I'm not good at this, or I'm always failing, or I'm not consistent, I don't know where to start, I'm stuck, I'm not good enough, I'm not, add your own thing there, your identity is going to be, I'm not. And conversely, when we speak positive language over ourselves, and I'm not talking about lying, I'm not talking about, if you're not going to be an astrophysicist, don't say you're an astrophysicist and then you just say it and you become it. I'm talking about if you say words like, I'm capable, I can learn, I may not know this yet, I'm scrappy, I'm helpful, I'm kind, I am capable, which I said already, but that's one that I say a lot to myself is like, I've never done this before, but everything's figure outable. I'm capable of figuring it out. When we have those words shape our identity, because our identity is going to be shaped one way or another. And because of our negativity bias, because of our brain wanting to keep us safe, those negative words of I'm not good enough and I'm not, and I'm always failing, and I'm all those negative ones, your brain's going to latch onto quick because it keeps you right where you are. You don't have to get out of your comfort zone if you don't believe you're capable of it. But we get to choose a different way. So if you want to change your identity, you get to change the way you think and the way you talk to yourself. And because when you say, I can, I'm capable, everything's figure outable, I'm scrappy, I'm capable of this, those strong, resilient identity that you're building aligns with growth and success instead of stuckness, overwhelm, anxiety. So it's not that you're trying to lie to yourself about what you're capable of, but reminding yourself that you've figured it out before and you'll figure it out again. that you are strong enough to boldly get out of your comfort zone and go after your dreams. Now that is an identity that you should be getting behind. That's an identity that you want to get behind, and that's an identity that you need to get behind. And so our words shape our identity. So our thoughts shape our identity, and the things we say out loud shape our identity. Our words also influence our actions. So if we tell ourselves and others that, if we tell ourselves and others that we don't have time, well, you know what? You're not going to have time. If you say things that are negative about like, I'm just not, I can't do it, and you don't, why even try if you've locked that down? So when you start talking to yourself in a positive way, saying everything's figure outable, I don't know, I've never done this yet, but I'm willing to try. Your brain and your instincts will kick in, and you can take action. Again, we're deciding to not be stuck, not be ruminating over what we don't know, but gathering information that we do know, that we can get behind, this identity that we're building that's positive, and we're influencing our words and our influencing our actions by our words. So we give ourselves permission to try, to take bold steps, to try new things, and to like pursue our opportunities, our dreams, our vision, to start this business that you want to do, to take your life expertise, your life experiences, the things that you've been through and that you can help others, and turn it into a profitable business, a sustainable business, a life-giving, legacy-building, fulfilling for yourself and others business. But if you don't speak life and positivity over your actions, you're going to stay stuck, overwhelmed, underwhelmed. You're going to avoid things. You're going to procrastinate. You're going to hesitate. You're going to keep yourself from reaching your full potential simply because how the words influence your actions. So, and finally here I have our words create our reality. So the words we speak about our future and our circumstances have a way of shaping how we interpret the world, how we engage with the world, how we take action, and who we are becoming. So these words that we say to ourselves like push us to the action that we take or don't take. And then it becomes the world that we live in and the world we understand. And so if we speak openly about opportunities, possibilities, gratitude, and we begin to see and attract more of the actions that align with the positivity, then our reality becomes the possibility instead of the overwhelm. When we focus on the negative aspects of the situation, when we talk about the limited resources, the limited knowledge, the limited skills, the limited capabilities, our fears, when we focus on our lack, it reinforces the lack, which reinforces the actions of hesitation, procrastination, avoiding challenges, and which then shapes our identity into the I'm not capable. Are you seeing how like it all starts with a word, a thought, and it turns into a belief? I've talked before about a belief is a word paired with an emotion thought over time. How many times have you thought I'm not capable and not had an emotion attached to it? Not having that dread or that fear attached to it, which means that when you think it over and over, it becomes a belief and which becomes part of your identity. So the other side of this is if we want this amazing reality, if we want our vision boards to come true, if we want this amazing life that we deserve, that God has for us, He says over and over in the Bible, He has abundance for us. And we don't look at that. We don't embrace that. In fact, it's almost like we push it away because we don't understand it. But if we want our reality to be the abundance God has for us, then we need to start with our words first. We get to create our reality by looking at possibilities, speak openly about what we see, and attract more of the possibility mindset, the growth mindset into our lives. So we get to envision what we want to create. And when we envision this in our reality, to build our reality, we start taking actions towards what we want. Small baby steps. You may, just say like one really simple step, which I know it's not easy admitting this, but talk to a friend about the dream that's been on your heart. Send me an email about the dream that's on your heart. Send me a DM, Instagram or LinkedIn. Send me a DM. I don't messages on Facebook, for whatever reason, they don't come across easily. But Instagram and LinkedIn, and I've been hanging out more on LinkedIn and I love it over there. So if you want to connect with me there, please do that. But back to back to the action item here is take that bold step and speak the reality over yourself. Speak what you want, this opportunity, this possibility, this gratitude. And then we start to attract more of that into our lives. So when you speak it over and then ask yourself, okay, what's one step? And your one step is just share it with somebody. Because again, using your words, speaking life over it. Now, don't go to your uncle who is a naysayer and is going to tell you that you're not capable of it or tell you how hard it's going to be. Be wise. Use discernment here to choose someone who you know is going to say, I don't understand it, but this sounds amazing. Like, tell me more. What does God have for you? Like, go to that person who is going to speak life. Like, don't talk to the naysayer. Don't talk to the negative person who their own words have shaped their reality and their actions and their identity, and it's not what you want to be a part of. So take that action and share it with somebody. And then when you share it, start to say it to yourself every day. I am working on a book. So I have a book coming out October 2nd, which I will put the pre-order link, because we are October 2nd. So it's a collaborative book. And so I have myself and other authors. We co-authored this book together. And in this, we are running a bestseller campaign. And so we need everyone to purchase on October 2nd so we can, become Amazon bestsellers. So if you can help me with that, I will put the link in the show notes because I am super excited. This chapter is the first time I've published my work, published part of my story, and it's really helped me see that, like, Tammy, I am an author, I'm a writer, and I can write a book. And so as I'm speaking that identity over me, I start to believe it more and more. And when I spoke that's when this opportunity came that I could be a part of a collaborative book because I spoke it and I believed it. I took actions towards it. And so then it became my reality. So it started with an idea and then I just kept saying it on the positive, not, you've never written a book. You don't know what it is. You don't know you don't have time to write a book. No, I focused on, I didn't know how, I didn't know when, I didn't know what, I didn't even know what I was going to write about because there's so many things. And then this opportunity presented itself because I'm an author. I love writing. You're a writer, Tammy. And then I took small steps to look at what would it take to write a book. And so by using the power of your words, it can become your reality. What have you been saying to yourself? What are some of the things that you believe about yourself that we need to change? If you wouldn't say it to your best friend, don't say it to yourself. You wouldn't say it to your child, don't say it to yourself. Our words really do matter. And it is not too late to change our identity by our words. You can do it by just one phrase. I'm capable. I'm scrappy. I love it. Like, I am a scrappy. Like, I figure things out and I tell the kids all the time. He's like, I don't know how to do this. I'm like, it's okay. We'll figure it out. I'm scrappy. Let's just get it done. And we joke about it, but then they will start saying, well, I need to find the scrappy way. I'm like, let's do this. Because speaking words in possibility language versus dead language, instead of procrastination language, and instead of negative and downtrodden language. What kind of life do you want? Do you want a life of abundance? Then speak it out loud. Speak it in your mind. Say the words that are abundant. Okay, I'm going to keep this podcast short because I believe that is enough. Like, I want you to take your words and I want to challenge you today to start one train. Words shape your identity, our actions, and your reality. Start with the reality that you want. What's one positive action you can take? And then what's one thing you believe about yourself in order to make that reality come true. It could be something as I am a writer. If you want to be a published author, I am a speaker. If you want to speak, whether if I'm a teacher, I am a crocheter, I am you know a runner. Whatever you want, whatever your reality that you want, this abundance reality. Decide what it is. Say it out loud. Write it down. Decide on an action, a positive action you can take towards it, and then who do you need to be in order to get it? And you don't have to, it's not that hard. It's really, you want to be a runner, take an action of buy the tennis shoes or put on the tennis shoes you have and start a couch to 5K app. And then tell yourself, I am a runner. The power of our words are that simple. Again, it just blows my mind, the power of the thoughts that we have, the power that God's given us by our mouths. He talks about how it can be evil and how we need to focus on the good. Well, friend, this is what he's talking about. Is use our words to uplift, to encourage, to be grateful. Use our words for possibilities and opportunities. Well, okay, I've got a couple of things coming up soon. I am excited to share with you. I have a vision lab coming up. This lab is going to be, it's 4 sessions. We're going to meet together and we're going to start to build an expanded vision. Where there's no vision, people perish. I used to be a goal-driven, I used to have all these big dreams. And then when I went through losing my husband, I lost the ability to dream. And like any muscle and I built it back up. And now hey, sorry about that. Dog decided to start barking. But what we're going to do is we're going to walk through what I do, the exercises and that I use, that I go through myself and with my clients to create a vision, to create one of abundance, to create one, and not just a vision for luxury or not a vision for, like traveling around the world, which I absolutely want to do, but also an impact vision. How do I want to use my one and precious life here? How do I want to tell my story? How do I want to share and make an impact? Well, we're going to talk about the importance of having an impact vision. And so we're going to talk about a personal vision, a professional, family. Like we're going to talk about creating this vision for your life that is, well, it's just going to be way more than you think is possible. And it's going to be driven by the way God has wired you, by what the dreams he's put on your heart and the impact that you want to make. So if you're interested in that, like next week, like this podcast is going to come out on a Thursday. Hopefully within a week, I'm going to have that sign up, but I will stay tuned because it is one of the first steps to figuring out the reality that we want. Without vision, people perish. And I want to help you create a vision that becomes so vivid and so real that your brain is like, we can't help but make it a reality. And we'll talk about the actions we need to take to get it. And we'll talk about the identity that we need to create, we need to build in order, or the identity we need to believe. There we go. That's the word, in order to get that. But all right, friend. Well, with that, if you have not left me a rating and review for this podcast, I would appreciate if you did. If you will share this with a friend who needs it. I'm making a couple of adjustments, as we go on this journey, God shifts us. I talk about how God just kind of taps you into place. And as he gets clearer and clearer, or he helps me, he's clear. He knows it all, right? As he allows me to see and get clear on my purpose and where my business is going and transform into who he's creating me to be, like things are going to shift and change a little bit. And one of the things that I have realized over it's the last about 7 or 8 months that I'm like, okay, God, I see this. You're right. It's time to embrace it. Is one of the things that I do best is help people take their life experiences, their expertise and turn them into profitable businesses. And I say profitable because if you don't make a profit, it just becomes a really expensive hobby. And for a little while, that's what my business was. And I don't want that for you. So we're going to just make it profitable from the very beginning. Even if it's like a nonprofit, if you want to make a ministry, but what I love doing is help you turn take your purpose and turn it into something that makes an impact, that's legacy leading, that's fulfilling and joyful, and gives you that full weight of joy, because the weight of the world is so heavy. And so as we go, I'm going to start talking more about how to take the action steps to turn your purpose into a profitable business, into a sustainable business, into an impacting business. And whether you want to turn it into a business or a nonprofit, or if you just want a ministry, or if you just want to do a thing, but you know that you're called to make an impact with your life experiences, your expertise, let me show you how to do it. Let me guide you. Let me walk with you. And I have come January, I actually have a program that I'm going to be launching. And this vision lab that is going to be like a first step. And then I have also a whole self-care workshop that we're going to do, because once you take your vision, then you need to actually start to embody and take care of yourself and taking care of yourself by taking care of your people. So we create this whole self-care plan. And then we're going to do purposeful productivity, because now it's time to get serious about it. So I've got a plan over the next couple of months that I would, if this excites you at all, like it excites me, or if you want more information, stay tuned, because it's coming. And then I want to help you take this impacting story that you have, and I want to help you turn it into a profitable business. I want to help you take it and start to not only by profitable as in monetary, but also impactful. And so if you're here for this, let me know, like DM me on Instagram or LinkedIn. If this has been on your heart and you're like, Tammy, I've been waiting to start. I've been waiting to turn this purpose, this pain that I've gone through, this trauma that I've healed from, and I want to do something with it. Stay tuned. It all starts with a vision. So friends, with that, choose joy until joy chooses you. I am so grateful that you're here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you next week. Bye for now.